Welcome everyone to Hillcrest Connects, where we briefly want to share with you what it means to meet together as we catch a glimpse of what God is doing in and through our congregation. Today we have with us Stephen Awudi. He's been a member of our church for about 4 years now, and we're just glad that you're here with us this morning.
Thank you.
So we want to hear from you what it's been like over the last several months dealing with COVID-19, how that's affected your family, how that's affected your work. If you could just share a little bit about that with us.
I would say it has tested our faith and patience to a very high extent because it's a new thing for everybody. And when the management of my work side decided I will be working from home, the first few weeks was something that we'd had to adapt to, especially living in the same house with the children and trying to work and meet deadlines. But I've been fortunate enough that my wife was able to help me, and I'll close the door and she will be with the kids. But I think it's a blessing even to have the opportunity to continue working, because it's not everybody who had that opportunity to continue working. It has really helped me, and to say that God has not been with us will be a lie, because during this time I've looked at a side that my wife, the way she struggles taking care of the kids the whole day. This time I'm always around, and I see what that has been.
Yeah. Can you share with us a little bit about where you work and what you do?
I work with SAMIS Immigration. I'm the financial administrator at SAMIS. So if we have new immigrants come in, I do the proposals, budgeting, day-to-day expenses, payroll, and all those. So the finance part of the organization, I'm in charge of that.
Okay. So it's got to be extra difficult for new immigrants to come to a new country, a new place to live, and then all of a sudden we have COVID.
Yes.
Is that giving you opportunities to minister, to share with anyone? Is there stories you can share with us?
Yes, for new immigrants, especially not knowing where they are going, and then they arrive and they had to be quarantined for a number of days. Majority of us, we do orientations. That is to to introduce them to Medicine Hat and Canada for their smooth settling process. The major thing that most of them have realized is that when they arrived, especially those who arrived late February to early March, had to go through that 14 days. Most of them did not know what they were coming to meet, because majority of them do not speak English. Mm-hmm. Some of them maybe very little English, but talking to them, giving them the assurance that the system is in place, Canada is a place that you can feel comfortable, the peace we enjoy here, some of them do not have that. And there was even one gentleman who said, what we used to hear about the West is totally different from what we experience when we are here, because of a different religious background. But most of them, based on what has been put in place for them to settle smoothly and the guidance we gave them, most of the time it's virtual anyway, still give them that peace and assurance.
Yeah. Well, that's excellent. So we're looking at opening up the church again soon. Can you tell us what you miss most about your church and your church family?
First is the music. The worship team, usually we will say, let's hurry up, let's not be late, so that we will be with the worship team. And one thing I love about worshiping here is it is not very long as what I'm used to, 3, 4, 5 hours sitting in the same place, So it goes very fast, and the focus is there. When back home, if you sit for more than 6, 7 hours, it just becomes work. Yeah. So the worship team is something that I like, and the preaching usually is practical. It's practical. It's something that there were times that I come and I feel like as if they were talking to me. then there was a time where my kids were running around giving us headache and all those. When we came, Pastor Steve was preaching about kids and how to be a parent and all that. And I told my wife, I think this is the answer we are looking for.
Excellent, excellent. Can you share with us what you've learned most about the character of God through this?
One thing I sometimes, like I looked at what is going on right now, what is going on in other places, the suffering people are going through, the loved ones that they are losing. Being human, I try to ask, is God really looking at this? Can this be God's plan? So it's very difficult to understand how can such things be happening and God is not stepping in right away. But I've learned that God is somebody who is totally different from we humans. He has patience and he has a reason for everything. And most of the time, if I'm going through a difficulty, I try to be angry and all those things, but I sit back based on what the Bible teaches us, and I tell myself, everything that happens, God is seeing it. God has a purpose for it. Even if it is because of our own mistakes, God, if we ask God for help and guidance, at some point, that difficulty becomes something that we would say, oh, I'm very glad I went through that. So, but it's sometimes difficult to have that patience and rely on God and say God is going to do everything, because we tend to we need it right now, we want it done right now, or why something is not happening the way we want it to happen. But in the end, we know God is always in control. That is something that we rely on. Yesterday I was in the night, I was just going to bed, and I was thinking, everybody's saying Happy Father's Day, Happy Father's Day. Have we even thought of our Father that is in heaven to say Happy Father's Day to God, who is our all of us, our Father? Nobody. Did we say a prayer like that? It was just going through my head like that.
Excellent words, Stephen. Thanks. And thank you for coming in. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining with us. To stay connected with us, sign up on Realm, follow us on our social media sites, or visit us at hillcrestchurch.net.